Oh shoot.
Welcome everybody, BGST Sunday night, American football, American baseball playoffs coming up, and why the hell aren't Americans buying the Xbox One? That's what we're here to discuss tonight. Crap, take us into the news. Tell us why we're all here.
Not only American football, but apple pie and Chevrolet. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Those are my things, man. I got it. And hot dogs, man. It's not American unless you're eating some pig anus. And and so yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about that stuff. And anyway, we were going to talk a little bit about the NPD reports. Obviously, they just came out. Tim Dog, what happened, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I took a big L. I gotta say, you know, I also got to shout out Nick at Marcel. He's a big PlayStation guy. I told him if they lose, I'd mention him. So, yeah, I took an L. I'm very surprised. I heard it was very close at the end.
Did you hear about the about 7K, right?
Yeah, I heard it's real close. It's like in the 10,000 area. They might have lost it the last week.
Yeah, did you see Sony pushing all those deals at the last week? I said,
yes.
I even said it at the time. I said it's probably close, and Sony's trying to do something. They were offering a PS4 with like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
or something.
three games at Best Buy,
like,
at Walmart. You know, they were running a ton of deals, probably because they knew that they were a little bit behind. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty, you know, during the day of Thursday, I had a bad feeling, but it was a pretty big shot.
Let me defend you, Tim. Let me defend you for a second because you should be defended. First of all, 7,000 is an absolute wash across the board, and let me explain why. Even at the highest we've seen in the past few months at 30,000, you take that over the course of a year, you know, even 300,000 units. Even if you multiply that over the 9 years, you're only talking a couple million, 2, 3, 4 million. We ended last generation at 92 million consoles apiece. Who cares if at the end of 6 years we're only a couple million apart? Listen, this is what I'm saying. 7,000, when someone says 7,000, 10,000, 15,000, it's a wash. Now, when we were back a year ago, okay, back in November, December, and Microsoft was kicking ass in the NPD, they were winning by hundreds of thousands.
Right.
That's when you start to talk and wave the flag. So that's why I don't know about you, Tim. I don't know if you got any slack. I didn't see the usual bullshit we usually see on Twitter, because Sony fans really can't stand up and light a match with 7,000 units. That's just
I
not
seen
enough
some
to
of
really
them try,
brag.
man. I seen some of them try.
Naturally.
I mean, I'm sorry. What are we talking about?
We're talking about those. Oh, hold on,
Bacon
ladies and
grease.
gentlemen. Guess who's in the house?
Bacon grease. Bacon grease. One more time. What we talking about? What we talking about?
NPD
Next gen-
7,000
next gen-
units.
The L. We're talking about the L.
7,000?
The L.
About
You talking
7,000. Yeah, about 7 to 10, something like that.
Well,
So
like I said, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. But what I've noticed about Sony, like when they win, they announce numbers. Like, you know, when that shit is close and they squeak by, they real. Thank you guys. You know, thank you fans for making us #1 and this, that, and the other. But when they win, you know what I mean? That's why I said it's not. You know, when I said this, I got to call everything again, but a child guy. Microsoft can close that gap in North America. All they need is November, December, and they win big by at least, you know, about 700,000, a million, like they did last year. It's an even ball game again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're right back to square one.
Well,
Here in North America.
You know, in November and December, those years, in those 2 months, it sells more than the rest of the year. So,
Yes.
you know, 720,000 was what they won last year. I mean, you figure they're going to start winning in October with Halo, and then from there they're going to look to take November.
What does Sony have in September? What do you have the Metal Gear?
Yeah, Metal Gear bundle. Pretty much.
That's not even here, though.
You know
That
what,
was
yo,
Europe.
I gotta take my hat off to Sony. Them motherfuckers are ingenious. Every fucking month with a big third-party multi-plat, they got the fucking deal.
Ingenious
And
or
you got these-
lazy.
I'm just but it's getting it all for them. You know what I mean? How you say perception is everything. Even though they're squeaking by over here in the States, and they said the Metal Gear bundle moved units in Japan, but whatever the fuck. When it sold 15,000 units over there, you know, in Japan, like that's if I was the big three, I would spend a very little resource over in Japan. Like Jesus, like that, they're not selling any goddamn consoles. What they say the Xbox did 55,000 for a year? Like for 54 for
54.
since launch, or was that just for 1 year?
I think it's been a year that they've been launched. So
No,
I think
it
it's
came out in
been a year.
2013, didn't it? It's 2015.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. They didn't launch. They launched late. Remember?
it would.
They didn't launch.
Oh, okay. They damn sure did. They came out like in the summer of last. Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, that's shitty number.
Damn right. Exposed. I win. You lose.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Make a video.
Yeah, I gotta make a video real quick. Hold on. My channel's dying. I gotta make videos about everybody else. But yeah, I think that's completely one of those situations where who cares? I mean, even if Microsoft or the Xbox One had won by 7,000, who cares? You know, like I remember, like a couple people messaged me on Twitter and they were like, "Hey, how about those NPDs or whatever?" And I'm like, "Man, I was too busy playing through the Halo campaigns, getting ready for Halo 5."
And I was too busy sleeping with your grandma.
Exactly. So I mean, we're all busy.
Let's say this though, crap. Let's be honest though. Had Microsoft won by 7,000, it was a better thing because they've been getting their ass kicked all year, but not by much. But they've been, plus fanboys.
I think they could have played it a little smarter and ran deals at the last week like they did. They should have been on top of it a little bit more, in my opinion. But it is what it is. They took the L, and it's they got to start. If they don't win October, they might as well just throw a freaking a bag over my head and just start walking around. I mean,
Halo comes out in October, right? Halo comes out in October, right?
October 27th. I wish it came out. Don't you guys wish it came out like earlier in the month so you would?
Yes, get it out early in the month. You know what I mean? Because what you got 3 days of sale on the market.
Yeah, but that first week, that first day, people just buy. I mean.
Yeah, but how many days are in October, Tim?
October 31.
So. They got 4 days on the market. No, come on, big game like that.
But still, for Halo, it's still a big deal. And then
I mean, it's gonna sell. They usually sell a bunch of so many million within the first weekend or whatever. So I think
first for 24 hours, they freaking bank.
Yeah, but if here's my notion. If they trying to get back the king shooter on consoles from Call of Duty, they should come out a little bit. You know what I mean? Was this 2 weeks before Call of Duty? 2-3 weeks. Give people a month or so with your beloved franchise, get them used to seeing how great this goddamn game is, and you know what I mean. Those 3-4 days, because not with Halo 4.
The only thing you can hope for is the counter to that, and I agree with you. Actually, I wish they would launch it a week earlier. But is that if you do get the hardcore that Tim's talking about, you're going to get those few million right off the bat. Right. Then if you do get the trickle over into November, that just helps November sales.
Exactly.
What I'm saying about that, I'm just talking about the longevity of the franchise. Because look when Halo 4 came out. Yes, it sold well. And then, came out a week or so before Call of Duty, and everyone's right back on Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, this is, like I said, this has Warzone and has a very good multiplayer itself, so it's going to be interesting. But, for Xbox guys, since we get all the AAAs this holiday, we're going to have Halo, and then we're going to have
Tomb Raider, Halo,
Fable. And then we're gonna have Battlefront first. I mean, the 12th. So you're talking about,
Yes, and I hope they
heavy time for Xbox.
They how should I say? I hope. Well, a lot of people, believe it or not, are not up on any EA access. I was talking to guys yesterday, a couple of Xbox. Just support their Xbox. They ain't no shit about EA access. What's EA access? Like, you can get $30 for the year, you get access to all these. Oh, you good? I'm about to buy me a point card. They call them point. I'm about to buy me a point card right now. Motherfuckers ain't know shit about it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? EA, to their credit, are advertising it now. They just did a new commercial that was pretty good. Yeah. And then you can see in the comment section of the video on YouTube, like all the Sony fans, a lot of Sony fans aren't aware that Sony actually kind of screwed them out of that access to that. And what's really funny is when you see the Xbox exclusive when that comes up. You know what I mean? It's like it's an exclusive feature that's on Xbox, and it's really only that way because Sony were kind of dicks and we're like, hey, we're not going to let our consumers pick for themselves. We're going to say it's not good for the consumer and we're not going to allow it. Really, it's not good for their Gaikai purchase because they want to sell you your old games again, and so that's what it all comes down to. But I think that it's interesting. That what's going on with the NPD is more than anything, because look, Xbox did well, PlayStation did well. What's really holding back the industry is the PS3 and the Xbox 360, because guess what? Out of the top 10 games, Yeah, well, I mean, it's included in that last gen, but particularly the 360, right? The 360 had the #1 selling game out of 3 of the top 10 on the NPD. 3 of the top 10, right?
Was it Minecraft
Now,
or something? What is it?
yeah, Minecraft, Lego, Jurassic Park, and Call of Duty Black Ops bundle, right? That's like was in the top 10 on 360. #1 best selling on 360 in the top 10. Now, Xbox One wise, you had Rare Replay at #6, Gears of War Ultimate at #3, right? You had that Until Dawn game at number like 7 or something. So Microsoft is doing really well. You know, the bad part about this is that you still have terrible games like Call of Duty in the top 10. You know, I mean, turn the page, people. That game it's the same thing, you know. It's like, why are there 2 Call of Duty games in there?
You know, the hypocrisy is what bothers me in this whole thing. I mean, we sat there for the last 3-4 years of last gen, and all we talked about was, who cares? Microsoft's a shooter box. It's Call of Duty again. Who cares what it's called after that? And now all of a sudden, they put a new poster up that just has the PS4 logo in the corner, and they're like, I don't know about you guys, but fuck all those other games. I'm going for COD. And I'm like, wait, what? What? I mean, what the hell am I missing? I mean, can somebody tell me if I'm in some sort of like Twilight Zone? Like every day is a new like. That's why I said I started this show tonight saying we got NFL, American football, we've got baseball playoffs coming up. Everyone in this country is wearing the red, white, and blue with 9/11 just passing. And then you know what? When you see Sony on Twitter saying thank you, America, notice they're not thanking Japan or any other country. They're laughing. They're like, thank you for giving us money because you fell for it again. Meanwhile, all you have is Microsoft executives. Larry Herb, Major Nelson's latest podcast that he does, was so informative to tell. It had Mike Ybarra on. He's telling you what you're going to be getting in the new features that are coming with Windows 10, the new UI that's going to be rolling out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And we just ignore it. We don't pay any attention to it. We give them no attention at all. There's no news about it. IGN's nowhere to be found. But when PS4 won the NPD, you got Naomi Kyle and her, you know, the blonde ditz from IGN, and you got that Destin Ligari, who's a worthless piece of shit. Both of their faces all over our Twitter feeds telling us, Sony does it again. 7,000 units? That's news? That's news? Come on, that's nothing at all. The only time a close race is that big is a presidential election. Now we're talking about sales over the course of 10 years that are going to equate to 100 million in units. Give me a break. This is the crap that we have to deal with. And I wish more people would listen to this show so they can actually understand what we're trying to. People are like, oh, you're just Xbox fanboys. We're not. We're actually trying to show
Mooch,
you.
but you've been exposed, dude.
I know.
They can't take you seriously.
I know. You can't
have
take
to get off the internet now. You've got to get off the internets now, bro, because you've been exposed.
Listen, my next video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my voice in slow motion.
That's what I would do, yeah.
And then whatever I say will be true.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my. You gotta get your fast from VG Charles.
My VG Charles.
You call me cocksucker, break.
Pebble. Listen.
Sorry.
Honestly, no, you can throw that in anytime you want.
Well, you know, the thing is that you know you gotta give Sony a little credit for
Fuck that. Let's
but
not
how
give
can we,
them
Tim?
any
Tim,
credit.
I can't give them any credit.
I don't know. I'll give them credit for winning the 10 because they did.
Tim, listen. Tim, if we're going to give Sony credit, then let's give credit to the latest mass murderer that just hides his victims well. Okay? That's what it is. It's a fucking murder. We're getting killed here for no good reason.
Oh my God.
Well, like I said, if October comes and Xbox,
You gotta hey Mooch, we gotta take a hat off him. I mean, this business is these motherfuckers playing shrewd poker. Like,
Hey, I do want to say this, right? Next Gen was the one that was dancing with Sony. He says, I'm not gonna bet against black.
Yeah,
That's what he
said.
said.
So Showstopper did it.
Oh, Showstopper! I didn't hear. Yeah, damn, D, you were in there too, man.
All right, I win, you lose.
Damn,
crap.
I'm exposed, guys. Guess what? I gotta get off the internet.
You're exposed against me, man. Just don't ever bet against black, man. That's the PS4 is the new iPod. You know what? I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what Microsoft does. I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna tell you, you gotta get off the internet now, crap.
Yeah, I know, right? When you're exposed, you gotta go. I got my guys. I guess I'm gone now. See ya.
But I think, like I think the PS4 is the new cool console to have amongst the.
Oh yeah.
It is.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing that Microsoft can do to turn that around. They have the public's mind. You see it in all the commercial, all the movies. Everyone has a. It used to be everyone had an Xbox 360 controller in their hand. And you see all the movies and this, that, and everyone has a PlayStation. Because what it is, like you said, multi-platform exclusives are cool, but you get exclusives every 3 to 4 months. Like I said, what's the problem with Nintendo? You get multi-plats every Tuesday, but you get exclusives every 3 to 4 months. And it's the perception that the PS4 has the better multi-plats. Like the 360 had the better multi-plats. And that did a lot of hurt to whether it's true or it's not. Whether it's true or it's not. Until they can close that resolution gate in Windows 10 and DirectX 12 support, then it's always going to be over and over again. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, Z, I want to throw something out there. This is a true life experience. I interned when I was in college at a company, and I noticed, I said, there's no morale in the company. And they were like, well, we used to have these huge family events in the 70s, 80s, 90s, but nobody, as we got later and later into it, nobody went to these events, these picnics, these things that the company used to put on. And so the company was like, well, if you're not going to come to this picnic that we put on, we'll save a lot of money. We're just not going to do it. And they stopped doing it. My whole point with that story is that you've got Microsoft that's doing their best front foot forward, trying to get games out first party. Sony's telling you, we're not going to do that. We're just going to rely on this. If we don't show Microsoft that we care about their first party games, you're not going to get them in the future. I promise you, because they're going to turn around and say,
I agree. I agree. Listen, I'm not saying I disagree.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not to us, Z. That's to the public I'm talking about.
I don't disagree with the business thing that Microsoft is taking. It's just honestly, there shouldn't be a resolution gate. It's being fair. There shouldn't be. I mean, 1080p has been out for how long? You know what I mean? There shouldn't be a resolution gate. And I think that it was smart again of Sony because no one really cared about 1080p last generation. What was, like I told you guys before about the online, what was good for last generation, it's not going to be good for this generation.
They push the goalpost back. That's what it is. They push them all around.
Regardless, it's called covering your bases. They say you stay prepared so you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. We got this coming out 2 years from now, but fuck 2 years from now. What about now? You know what I mean? And that's what really hurt them. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with it. It's not a big issue, but I don't speak for the masses. I mean, it is what it is, But that's the big thing.
Well, at the end of the day, the Xbox is about 800 and, say, 30,000 behind. I think that's where people have it. If they have a good October, a good December, and a good November, they could really take a, let's just say they could get the 300,000, behind, or they could even.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not.
They could really make a lot of sales up this holiday.
But here's the thing though, but if they don't close the resolution gap, regardless, it's going to be the same thing in next year.
Well, that's the thing, like you said,
7,000 this month.
It's the big hot thing, and the brand took a hit when it first came out.
Yes, it did.
Metro, it took a hit. And then the resolution gate didn't help because a lot of casual people will defer to PS4 because they'll say, oh well, to this day people still say, oh, it's a 720p box or it doesn't do 1080p, and then you have some moron working and say and they just let's just get a PS4. That it hurt Xbox, but in the overall health of Xbox, it's still not where it's still at a point where it's still selling more than the 360.
Yes, it is
at this point, and it's this holiday is going to be a big telling tale. 2016 too. They are destroying the competition.
16 is huge.
They have the content now, so now it's up to the people to start buying it. To be honest, it has to start.
Well, and we've said this on the show, guys. Let me ask you guys on the panel. What has Microsoft not done that we've asked for? They wanted we've all asked for faster turnaround time on the UI, coming very soon. We've all asked for backwards compatibility, coming very soon. We've all asked for more first-party games. Give us games. We've got games. A new control. We wanted a new controller. There was some people complaining that there was some sort of delay or problem with the controller. What they do? Dead zone. They gave us a new 3.5 millimeter jack with dead zones and bumpers fixed, and now they're giving you an Elite controller, which is $100 cheaper than the Scuff controller. What would you like them to do besides knock on your door and hook the fucking thing up for you?
Hey, Mooch, but listen, Mooch. All that's great. All that's the how Mooch was, how Warrior was said that he wants the first and indicate. All that's well and good, right? But they have to close that resolution gate. That has to go away.
I'll agree with that.
No
Well,
matter what
can
you
I, can
do,
I,
that's
can I
always gonna
point
be
out
thrown in
something
the
real quick
comments.
about that? Is this right? Even when games are 1080p on both, these
It's
sites still find a way to. In fact, Digital Foundry tried everything they could to make.
Remember Grassgate?
Yeah, grass. Dude, I mean,
It was like, man, we got a few more blades of grass.
Hey, showstopper, dude. When that came out, I thought it was a joke. I was like, I bet Digital Foundry was like, let's see how fucking stupid these people are and what we can make them argue about, right? Let's get out there and make him argue about which one has more fucking grass, right? Which one has more grass, right? See, I thought it was a joke when somebody said that, right? But it was real. I saw pictures. People were like, look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck does that improve your goddamn? I want to wrangle some fucking necks. How does that improve your fucking game?
Yeah, and Ponies was like, I know we had the better one. We got more
Jesus
grass.
Christ, got some more grass on there.
Hey man, that was a weird time in gaming, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that was you know that Robert Seven. You remember that he was like a big fan, Robert 420 guy. He's now he's totally switched over now. I had an argument. I'm like looking at the pictures. I'm like, Rob, yeah, the game has more grass on PS4. The dude fucking lost his mind. Like, this is when he was an Xbox fan. I'm like, dude, it's fucking grass. Are you kidding me? He fucking went, and that was the end of him. He lost his mind, and then he posted up drive.
Wait, are you telling me that? Hold on. That Rob dude, right, who I blocked because he like spammed up the timeline with Drive Club, right? I was just like, I can't take it, right? So you're telling me he switched over to PS4 because of grass?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
More blades of grass, not just
that guy. That is how some fickle. That's how fickle some people are, and he's the case.
Now that's what you call like. Does that like schizophrenia in gaming or something? Because some of these dudes, like today, I had some dude, like hey, Tim, you know all the usual suspects. I block them, like the Birdies and the Janoses and all these guys, right? So, but I'll occasionally get one of them that I haven't blocked that starts like throwing shit at me, and were posting stuff up that I was talking about like 6 months ago about the Call of Duty reveal, about how I remember how I was like a little bit worried. I was like, hey, Microsoft would be smart to keep that marketing deal. You know what I'm saying? And so I said something, but these people actually keep the shit that we say, and they act like it's
yes.
They save it for later. Boy.
Okay, yeah. So they throw it up in your face, and they think it makes me look bad, when really it makes them look totally obsessed and fucking retarded. Because I say shit that's wrong all the time. It's no big deal. All the time. And I have no problem with that. Just like you, Tim, right? Look, you're a good dude because you lost money, you'll pay up your bet. You say, hey, man, I take the L on that. That's what you do. Right. But you know what? You're honorable when these other idiots are never going to be that way. They'll never pay up. They'll never admit anything.
So you want to pay that motherfucker? I haven't got paid.
I would. You know what? I'll tell you this. Fevens, that motherfucker, owes me money. So if anything, you should have been like, hey, Fevens, I'm gonna pay that money back to Fred because that motherfucker says you owe him money. He won that tournament and you never paid up.
Oh shit!
I mean, I don't know. He hates you, man.
Dude.
I said maybe you could try to make friends with him. He's like, no, fuck that. He's evil.
Hey, no. Hey, but wait, hey, crap. Just to be fair, you do owe me. When your fucking team got their ass kicked, you were supposed to make a video saying that next gen and the pictures were the greatest. I have yet to get my video yet. I don't know about you, crap. Like I said, I don't get paid on the internet, man.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. But you know what? I was kind of salty about that, but I mean, whatever. I was kind of salty today, man. Like, there was no calls going my way, but I didn't flip out, man. I kept calm.
No,
I'm like, oh, fiddle-dee-dee.
Did y'all win?
Joe Flacco? No, they fucking lost because, this is what happened. Flacco went to the end zone, right there, down 6. Time running out, goes to the end zone, dude gets pass interfered with and then picked off. So they didn't call the pass interference, they just called fucking, so there it is, the end of the game,
got
picked off.
Game next week.
Who they play next week?
The Raiders.
That's Aaron's team too. He must feel like shit.
Oh yeah, Greenberg.
They got it easy. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
Y'all
Raiders
gonna
fans all come from the 80s. They come from the Bo
do.
Jackson era.
Did you see the picture of the guy that there was somebody who was making fun of him? There was like this guy dressed up in like total crazy Oakland Raider like get up, and it's like you paid this much, you put this much attention, and you can't even score a point.
Can't even score a point. It took them to the fourth quarter. I think the Bengals just took the foot off the gas. It was like, man, let them go.
31-0.
Hey, they felt bad for him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Dude, well, you know what's really funny is how about that Marcus
They foot off the
Marietta?
gas.
That dude had
Wow.
Marcus Marietta, dude, the fucking rookie came out. He had a perfect rating, 4 touchdowns. Beat
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's ass in Tampa, dude. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
I'm,
can't
I'm holding
believe
my
he-
breath because my Giants are on in an hour, and I'll tell you right now, I'm freaking the fuck out.
Well, they don't have JPP.
The Giants, Jesus.
I'm
Hey,
not.
man, no Giants, bro.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Big Football Fan Small Talk.
You guys get back to talking about the Xbox?
About football.
Hey, you know what they want us to talk about? Drive Club and a real-time physics.
Real time, man.
Remember,
Yeah,
they was,
listen.
remember they was going on that trash? They're like, real-time physics.
Real time,
Real
man.
time.
Real time physics.
Tim Dog's got Forza early because he got the unlimited edition or
That
whatever.
game
that
is
was.
godly. I'm so
And I'll
excited.
tell you,
for
Tim,
it on
you had a
Tuesday.
couple videos up. I
gotta take it
rewound
down?
it and watched it like 3 or 4. No, I watched a couple of videos. He put them up on Xbox. I'll tell you, they are beautiful, man. The game looks stunning.
Oh, because I got my
gorgeous.
copy
Oh,
now too, so I didn't know. Put my shit up on YouTube.
Yeah,
And-
dude, hey, next gen. Once they release the embargo, which was already released, you're allowed to play.
Oh, I mean, I can play the motherfucker regardless. We just couldn't put up any footage. I got the game.
Yeah, you can. I got footage up right now, man.
Yeah, it's
I didn't know
allowed.
that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh wow.
The
Forza?
game Forza is it's the best racer I've ever played.
It
pretty
is.
much.
It's-
Does it
And I
handle-
loved
does it
Forza
handle like the
Horizon
demo?
too.
Does
But
it
Yeah,
handle the demo?
dude, the demo is just part of the beginning of the game, man. That's like,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but as long as it still handles like the demo, because
oh yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
it's great. Well, you can actually customize the handling. You can customize it to,
Yeah.
I wanted to drive like Forza Horizon.
Now-
But
now-
I played online, and then that was the picture. That was the video that I sent. I mean, it was good on video to show, but to be actually in it and playing it with the headphones on,
Yeah.
the game is
What
just.
headphones are you using?
I just use a standard X. I have I have the best of those A50s, but when I was doing it, I had the Xbox ones, which are very good.
Oh, you have the do you have the
The branded
Astros?
ones. But yeah, I do have the Astros.
Oh,
but-
them motherfuckers are mean.
Yeah, they're good. But the game is I think it's going to do well.
I
It's
said that,
it's
said
really
that,
good.
I said
Really
that Tim in my impression about the audio, and people gave him, no. That audio sounded like you hear the fucking cars, and I had my Astros. I'm like, God damn, look at this shit here.
It's insane.
They went and redid it. Like, okay, like I was playing Halo 4 last night, and the guns on that just sound fucking amazing. I was
Yeah.
like, I forgot that, man, 343 went all out with the gun sounds.
It's not even so much that,
redid
Tim.
everything.
I mean, it's not even so much that crap. Let me,
Yeah, that's
the
all
Xbox
white.
One
Also,
has
all white boys all sound alike, right? Next gen.
No, Steve, I'm sorry. But you know the Xbox One has their own audio thing. I forgot what the fuck you call it. Something that the PS4 doesn't have. It'll come to me.
Shape. Well, they have a something called the Shape.
Yeah, it's straight for audio, and that's what the games sound like that. If you're into that type of stuff.
Well, Halo 5 pretty much has is the best sound.
Them fucking harmonic monks.
Yeah, man,
But
I'm super
even like
excited
the
for
guns
that.
and stuff, and that sound design on Halo 5 for the beta. You know that's that's.
You look at what they did for Halo Anniversary. Look at what they did for Gears. Look at the time and the attention that Turn 10 put into Forza. Look at what they're doing for Halo with 343 for Halo 5. You know that Microsoft engineers have been working with Tomb Raider and Crystal Dynamics this whole time. And if I'm I'm just thinking about it. We all go to work every day. Think about if you were one of the executives that's behind the 4 or 5 things I just mentioned. Wouldn't you be at the desk on Monday tomorrow, scratching your head, being like, "What the fuck else can I do, man? What do people want?" All Sony's doing is taking their greatest, God of War 3, and taking Uncharted, and they're giving it a paint job. There's nothing to it. People are doing side-by-sides of PS3 God of War versus PS4 God of War.
It's the same
and there's
thing.
no difference. Z, that's your favorite game.
Yeah, it is the same
Analysis
thing.
that it's the same day. Look, when you
is.
said that, you've been
Yeah.
saying to everybody, hater or not, that God of War is your favorite series of last gen.
Yeah, it was.
So why would you lie? Why would you tell them not to do? Come out,
I
put
didn't
that
even,
on.
I didn't even, because I was going to play through it again. Like, it looks the fucking same. The fuck
Yeah,
is
next
this?
gen tells me, he's like,
That's
damn, don't
the
buy
only
it. He's like,
difference.
it's the same damn thing.
What is it that? And that's what I was trying to hope to get out of some of the public today. Say, what in the world do you want them to do? Like, what else can they possibly
You
come
know
up
what it
with?
is? You know what it is, Mooch? Xbox, and this is the truth. They're held to a higher standard than
Yes,
Sony.
they are.
Yes,
That's
true.
just the bottom line.
That's true.
They judge harshly too.
Hey, just look at this. Forza, right? Forza 5 or Forza 6 ends up being, it gets an 88 on Metacritic, right? But most of the reviews are 9 or higher.
Well, it not for nothing. It could, this type of thing like Titanfall dropped to 86, and actually Forza dropped to 79. Some games
79?
also go up too. So I do think that with Forza, it's going to be in the 89, and it possibly could hit 90. But you're talking like a year. Sometimes these things come out
Tim,
way
this
too late.
this is the third Forza in this generation to 0 Gran Turismos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, what are we talking about here? You're looking at Microsoft. It's one thing. When you ever say something, you're like, "How come my company?" Look at let's go back to the NFL real quick. When your NFL team doesn't spend money, doesn't go out and get somebody, doesn't put money into scouting at least to get somebody out of the draft, you're like, "How come you're not doing anything for me now?" You're seeing Microsoft take money out of their pocket to invest to try and make their customers satisfied, and either the customer base is not purchasing it, or they're purchasing it, but we're not purchasing the console to grab the software. And you've got people that are blindly walking into the stores and buying PS4s, going home. And of course, don't get me wrong, I understand. People don't seem to understand that. I get it. I've been gaming a lot longer than the people that hassle us on Twitter. Like, I get that the third-party games are important. I understand
Hold
that they're
on,
a lot
let
of
me
fun.
take you back for 1 second, right?
Go ahead.
You've been gaming for longer than these 12-year-olds that hassle you on Twitter? That's
Yeah, I know, right? Was
news
that
of the
a given?
obvious. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
But you should see the way they talk to us. And I'm not going to talk about just me. This is I see the way they talk to Z. I see the way they talk to Crap. I see the way they talk to Tim and Show. And
That's
to be honest,
why I do all my ass
Those
and mouth scenes with
motherfuckers
their
need to go
grandmother.
back to crying to their mom and dad for their new shoes and fucking their new PlayStation games and
You know what?
and then the ones that are old enough, they're just fucking a drain on society, flipping their burgers and fucking, you know what I'm saying, and then bitching at us, watching us, caring about what we do. And guess how many fucks we give about what they do? We don't give zero
But
fucks.
guess what though? Listen here.
How many
It
screenshots of
always
these
gets the
goofy
last
motherfuckers
laugh.
am I saving up,
I
man?
do
None.
all my ass to mouth scenes with all their grandmothers with no lube.
What the hell, man?
Bacon
Ah,
grease. I use
Jesus
that bacon grease.
Come on, bro.
I get the last laugh, man. What the fuck you want me to do, man?
I guess, man. I guess.
Break, bam. What the fuck am I gonna do? Ass to mouth scenes. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, guys. So didn't Until Dawn moved up to what, an 80 NPD?
Yeah, but it's going to drop to a 79 because
79.
Edges is not encountered. But but that point is that after a time, or it has 47 reviews right now on Forza 6. There's going to be about 85 to 90 when it's all said and done. So I'm not going to say I think it's going to end up at 88, 89, but there is a slim possibility of a 90. Giant bomb is a big deal too. If that's bombs, it's over.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you exactly what I did, and I don't usually do this. I wrote email from my real email, under my real name and everything, and I expressed exactly the feelings that I had towards the review, listed why I thought the review was wrong to the guy that wrote the review because the Games Radar one, I think.
Oh, what do you give it?
6 out of 10,
Yes.
and the same guy gave Drive Club or was it Games Radar?
Games Radar sounds right.
Yeah, it was Games Radar. Okay, yeah. So he gave Forza 6 a 6 out of 10, but gave Drive Club a 9 out of 10. And in his review, if you read it, it sounds like he pulled a crap gamer, guys. He didn't even play the game. He probably stole some footage. You know what I mean? Come on, man. He looks like 6 out of 10.
Gamer.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. He didn't play because he didn't even know what the resolution was, what the frames per second was. He didn't know you could get in there and change the way it drives. He's like, it's too floaty and difficulty levels and all this kind of shit. I mean, he clearly had no interest in reviewing it. You know what I mean? Like none. So it was like ridiculous. And I sent the people at Games Radar an email, and I was nice about it. I was like, he didn't seem interested. Look at the other scores. It's an opinion-based thing, but he should at least have the knowledge. And you don't have to beat a game or whatever, but you should at least know how to get into the settings and change the settings and bumpers.
In any other field, Crap, there's credibility and standards. Like if you want to go and write for the Times or you want to be in some sort of big newspaper, you have to write. You have to have some sort of education behind you. And it's just opinion stuff for the most part, or your ability to write. And you have to submit, and finally you get picked up. What I'm finding out in the gaming world is that you don't need any credentials. You just have to have a heartbeat and a couple of thumbs.
You know what I mean? They got fanboys writing articles.
It
Yes,
might be.
You can't be a fanboy and write articles.
That's why I don't write. That I mean,
Or do anything, or review a game or anything like that. If you're a fan of a certain product, just don't do it.
Hey, Showstopper, I wanted to say I liked your new intro, man. I like the little pony dancing and stuff. I forgot to tell you that, man. I was like, I like your channel, man.
I worked on it, man. I was like, man,
Yeah,
that's funny.
it's funny, man. Yeah, I like it. Everybody, you know what? That's what's so interesting about this podcast is everybody has like, you know, we're like that band, and everybody has their favorite, except for me. Nobody likes me, but everybody's like, man, Showstopper, man, he's got that laugh, man. And they're like, Mooch, he's always comparing stuff to something, and it's so simple. And I'm like, and you know, and that's funny. And they're like, and Tim Dog, man, when he gets going with that high pitch, you know, that's great. And then next gen, and then next gen, he's got this. Yeah, and then, you know,
I love that trash, boy. That's funny.
yeah, it's like everybody likes something about it, and then it's really cool when it comes together and stuff. You know what I mean? I like it. So it's
People
really
love
cool.
you, crap. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they do. Man, I had people tell me, man, I'm not as compelling as Mooch, man. They're like, Mooch took your spot.
Shit.
And I was
Oh,
like,
shoot,
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
dude.
don't listen to any of that. Listen, haters be
Hey,
hating.
Hey, you guys, check this out, Mooch. So he's got like 2,300 subs. That dude's pulling damn near 5,000 views per video.
Bang, bang.
Bang bang. That's
I
that
mean, I was
bacon
like-
grease.
I was
G.
like, holy
That's that
crap.
bacon grease.
You know what I mean? Like this dude's pulling all kinds of stuff.
Lord.
Now, there's this interesting rumor that's popping back up, much like the Minecraft rumor about Microsoft buying AMD.
Yes.
Remember, this was a rumor a while back, and now it's popped up again, and it makes a lot of sense. And the reason it makes sense is because no matter who wins the console war per se, Microsoft would win.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter who wins, Microsoft wins because they're gonna. I would assume that it's gonna literally cost them nothing
That's
to
what
make
I'm
the
saying.
chips for Xbox One at that point.
Cost them
Everyone
nothing.
plus every PS4 that's sold is costing
Well-
them. I don't know what it is, like 25, 35
Listen,
bucks or whatever.
crap,
it is.
more importantly than the actual cost factor, the idea is this. It really puts Sony in a corner if they do this because then Microsoft would have a heads up on what they're doing well in advance. They'd know what and they really can't switch to Nvidia. The last time I believe, and someone correct me if I'm wrong because I know someone will, the PS3 went with an Nvidia or that cell processor, and it was a clusterfuck. And DX12 is the future. We know everyone's using it, and Nvidia's having a hard time with it on their product. So AMD is really, even though they're in financial issues, they're really the ones that hold a lot of lock and key with patents, and they are the front runner for gaming consoles because the NX, the Nintendo NX, we already know has a contract. So the millions of units they're going to purchase are going to use those chips as well. So Microsoft buying AMD is not even to the benefit of their own console. It's the idea that they will know the next generation what their competition's putting in the box.
I don't think Sony would stay.
You know, here's the
have
thing,
to,
though.
though.
I think Sony. I think they'll find something else though.
No, here's the thing, though. But if they go back with NVIDIA, then NVIDIA is a little more costly than AMD. I mean, not for nothing, they are. That's why the original Xbox didn't make any money because Microsoft didn't own the patent to the GPU with the OG Xbox. It was never meant to be sold under $300. That's why it never made any money. So they turned around and did the price cut. Microsoft had to follow suit. You know, they went down and because both the PS2 and the Xbox were both $300. Then Sony went down to $200. Microsoft had to follow suit to at least try to stay. They got their ass kicked. But that is an interesting scenario. But either way, Microsoft was guaranteed to have the most powerful console next generation if they were to do that.
Well, I mean, here though, like check this out. It's like Microsoft went with the Blu-ray thing, remember? And like they could have, they could have easily not done that. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for Sony to go with AMD still, because look, say Nintendo has that and Microsoft or whatever, and these consoles are on par. What is Sony going to go with something else, and then they're going to get shit third-party versions of the games? You know what I mean? They don't want to go back to what happened with the PS3. So I think that's something that you have to look at as well. And it's very interesting because Microsoft would be betting heavily on gaming if they do this. I mean, you still hear people talk about the brand not doing good and this and that. If Microsoft were to buy this, they're betting heavily on gaming as a future endeavor. You know what I mean?
Well put,
yes. So I think that's important, something to take away from this. I do occasionally make a well thought out point.
First of all, you do crap. Second of all, Phil Spencer has said as much that he is very well aware that he's going to. Microsoft's making another console. another box. Okay, there will be another box before we get to the point where we go all digital. And this is huge. The minute that you see them either acquire it or become 51% stakeholder, you know you got to, because even that's a good move. Think about it, guys. It's not a failure at all if Microsoft just becomes a heavy investor, because once they have the rights to, and listen, they're not going to get involved unless they're over 51%. They will be the majority. And once they do that, it's the same repercussions. They can still obtain what they want, basically. They can get their hands in on the ground level. And like I said, myself personally, just coming from a business world, I really, really, truly think that the strength of acquiring AMD is knowing what your competition is going to do. And show, you know what? Listen, I heard something. I was reading something yesterday, and they said that if Microsoft was to acquire AMD, Sony would maybe think about making it in-house. That's a catastrophe, and that's just it's a catastrophe waiting to happen, because that's not their forte. They do hardware, but they don't do they don't have that. They don't have the patents that AMD has, and they went off the shelf and bought everything off the shelf for this PS4. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to that.
They use off the shelf. You know what? I want to say this. The reason why NVIDIA is kicking AMD's ass in the PC world, because NVIDIA has more cash. AMD does have a lot of patents. They don't have the R&D budget to invest in those. Correct. In those, GPUs and stuff. So for that, like I said, it will be beneficial for AMD to, I'm not saying the house will take over, but maybe 51%, or even Microsoft. And they would have that backbone, that budget to develop on some of those, those patents they have, the R&D. You know what I mean? But Sony doing their own GPU. I mean, I think they did their own in the PS1 or something, because they was making it for. They were doing the CD part for the Super Nintendo back in the day. The attachment. Maybe they can pull it off. I don't know, but I don't. But either way, I think it's a lose-lose for Sony, because they might as well stay with AMD because they're cheaper, and no matter what you do, your console is not going to be more powerful than the next Xbox. That's regardless.
Z, you just said it yourself. It's cheaper to go with AMD. They are already in a financial bind. They cannot afford to open up a whole new branch of Sony to make chips. That's just not something that's really in their world. They would have to sub out to somebody else. Now, who would they go with? Again, if they go with NVIDIA, they're going to have a problem. And you guys have done all this. Is not me speculating. This is articles being written. The NVIDIA translation between DX12 is having a hard time converging with that. The AMD one is smooth as butter. Right. So that whole thing not working.
Missing features.
Right. It's missing features. So DX12 is the future. Okay. And now someone correct me here. This is something I'm not 100% on, and shame on me for not knowing that. But AMD is also Mantle, correct?
Yeah. But it's over with. Just everything's.
Yes, but Mantle and Vulkan basically stem from AMD. I thought, if I'm wrong, someone tell me.
Vulkan is more for the open GPL shit that Sony uses. Okay. That's for them.
But I heard Vulkan is not compatible with.
Sony would never have DirectX nothing, because that's Microsoft's thing. They use something equivalent to it, but they won't have DirectX.
Well, Yoshida came out and said that at this time, it was Yoshida or somebody to his equivalent, in case anyone's taking notes, that said that they said that they're not compatible, they're not working with anything with Vulkan at this time. Brad Wardell backed that up.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they didn't invest in it either. You know what I mean? It is.
Well, hey, there were those leaked documents, and some people are saying that they're not real or whatever, but. The interesting part was, I don't really believe in coincidences, is Brad Wardell already said all that stuff. It's like sometimes you need some of these outside confirmation. But let me ask you guys this real quick, because Next Gen, you talked about that 8 gigs of flash memory, and we never knew what it was for, right?
Yes.
It turns out, if these documents are to be believed, they're for the game DVR, but developers actually have
access to it also.
Yeah. What they could use for it, I don't know, because they say it's a little bit slower than the normal memory or whatever. But it's interesting that this stuff is coming up that we've been talking about for years.
You know what? Another thing, crap, to add on to what you're saying that no one talks about, the Xbox, the hot chips, the reprogrammable chips that are supposed to be in the Xbox One, whatever the case may be. That I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with it. You realize they spent $3 billion with AMD. And that console still has fucking NDA still up the fucking ass. We still don't fucking know everything the console can do.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And again, I think Microsoft is doing itself more harm than good. Just come out and say, fine, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know DirectX 12 is coming. We know Windows 10 is coming. What can this motherfucking do? What could this motor scooter do? Like, you know what I mean? It's going to. I mean, I understand with the cloud, and like I said, you know, it wasn't ready at the time, and we, you know, I mean, we get that, and we see that. But you know, like just going back to something I've always said, Greg. You know, they spent $3 billion. Sony only spent fucking, you know, 4.5. You know, million. You know what I mean? Not 4.5 million.
400 million, right?
Yeah, $500 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sony, Microsoft spent $3 billion with AMD. What the fuck did all that money go? Was that for them to scrap Mantle, hop aboard with DirectX 12? Like, what the fuck did all that money? What did all that money go with? I still don't know. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense except with the you know, the regime.
Next gen. I agree with you, and this is what this is kind of weird, right? Like, Microsoft has this cool stuff. Why not come out and say something about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Phil said that the games will do the talking, so I mean.
I understand that. Look, Phil, he's a good guy, but you know who's really cool? Fucking Kudo, right?
Kudo.
That dude comes out, fucking balls to the wall, saying, "Hey, guess what? We've got the best motherfucking games." I'm paraphrasing here. We've got the best motherfucking games this holiday. Sony ain't got shit. Right? He comes out and says
that. Aaron Weinberg, too, also said about the 50% for the CPU.
Yes, 50% CPU and 20%. Dude, what did the Project Car dev say? 20% on the fucking Xbox One part. Remember next gen? And then they tried to retract it and say, "Oh no."
Even so much as that, these big third-party games that have come out that wasn't 1080p, just see, you know, on the Xbox One is ironic, right? That all of them said that their games can be patched with DX12.
Yeah.
Sure.
But the chances of that actually happening are not happening.
They said they can patch them on PC. They share the same code.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're going to do that.
Why not?
I just don't see it. I just once the project's passed, it's passed. They don't really throw.
Yeah, I mean, remember how they said they were going to patch
Titanfall?
They were going to patch Titanfall up to 1080p, and that shit never happened.
Well, I'm just saying, with Titanfall, I mean, look at what the kits they had back then, what they have now. They're night and day. I'm just, and it's not me talking with the tinfoil hat on. If they're saying that their games can be
tinfoil hat wearing motherfucker,
yeah, with DX12, and it uses this, like it's not really costing money. They get Elite Dangerous in one day from PC to the Xbox One with the X12. It's not like it's going to cost them a lot of money. Companies release patches all the time. Games are always being patched, and if they're going to patch it on Windows 10, there's nothing stopping them from patching it on the Xbox One. You know, they're still putting out patches for Batman on Steam. You understand what I'm saying?
I just don't see it. I don't see them putting time in to code it like that.
Well, I want to put a positive spin on it real quick. If we're going to sit here and we've bashed, not we, us, but we, the media, okay? The media has bashed Xbox, saying Xbox was not ready to launch in 2013. They should have been they were waiting for Windows 10. I really rewound it and listened a lot to the Larry Herb, again, Major Nelson's podcast last week. He stressed how much of a major update that's rolling out this month to preview members. Yeah. This is not like you just gained a new button, or this is like a cool new feature where you can make your tiles dance. Okay, this is actually this is what they originally planned. And what Windows 10 and DX12 will be bringing, if you don't think it's something massive, you don't understand why they're going to be piecemealing this out to people in the preview section week by week, and then finally in November getting it out to everybody. Like, it's a massive, massive turn. Everybody's getting a new console within the next 8 weeks. That is a huge deal, and nobody seems to be grasping that. This is not just like before where we were like, yes, we finally got snapshot or screenshot. This is not a screenshot, guys. This is not, you know what I mean? Now I can see my friend's name in different colors. No, this is like an entire operating system. Mike Ybarra says it. He's like, it's kind of a big deal. When you actually have the people that have been so reserved telling you it's a big deal, you can kind of run with that. They've been so quiet for 2 years.
Here's the thing, but what all that trickle down to not the so much hardcore fanboys, you know what I mean, us, the lunatics, but to the average Joe, will they understand what their console went from it? Or are they going to see the big, changes? Or it has to break down to the games. Our games have to be much more better. The interface, fine.
Much more better.
Whatever the fuck. I'm high as a hell with this motherfucker too, man.
Hey, shout out to the over 200 people watching, man. We appreciate it, man.
Yes, thank you for coming to my channel. I do appreciate
I'm high as goddamn James Brown with a motherfucking shotgun in my lap. High as hell. Fucking, you know what I mean? I'm sweating too. Big increase.
He's like, I did get your couch.
You know what I mean? But it has to trickle down to the games. You know what I mean? That's, I think, the only way that the public's going to know, like, goddamn, what the games want to be now and what they were before. Then, then.
Like I said, this holiday is going to be a lot. I think it's just too hard to deny. And this is like the last time where people get their shots in. And, I do think that after, like, this holiday, like, in December, when Sony is just still, trying to pretend that they had any kind of games in the last, however long it was, and Microsoft just dropped backwards compatibility, a new controller, a new UI, 3 huge games, and it goes on and on and on, 100 plus backward compatibility games. I think it's just the media is just actually just going to be like, all right, it's just going to be too hard to deny. So, and then if it doesn't, well, it's just then you really, you just shake your head and just say, there's nothing else they could do.
Well, let me ask all you guys a question, and it can be either harmful to Microsoft or beneficial. Do you think Phil is too much of a gamer, not a businessman like Don Matrix?
No, I think they need a gamer right now. A businessman wouldn't work for them right now.
Yeah, I agree.
They need a gamer because Don Matrick was the businessman. Hey, we got a console for you. We got this for you. Yeah, he might have been good for the bottom line, but had Phil maybe said something or been there all along, we wouldn't have had the reveal that we had, and people still calling.
Who's Phil's equivalent on the PS4 side?
Isn't it?
Yoshida.
No. Yoshida. No.
Yoshida.
Kaz?
No, Kaz is the boss of Sony.
Kaz is the boss of Sony. Okay,
it would be Yoshida.
No. Yoshida's only the head of the studios. He's what Phil was before.
So Sean Layden or whatever.
Sean Layden, the guy with the president thumbs. With the thumb.
Right. Okay, so if he's the equivalent, then Zair's point is a valid question because Sean Layden is clearly only worrying about the business end of it.
Yeah.
Bill,
he doesn't even talk.
Bill's got his hands in the Play-Doh of every game. And now what I would say is this. Z, let me answer your question, but it's not how you want it answered.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to that is no, I don't think Phil should be doing more of the business tactics because I think the head of Xbox, since Microsoft is so broad, I think the head of Xbox should concentrate on the product of the games. I think the advertising should have its own department, which Microsoft has an advertising department, or they have an advertising department that subs to a PR. And I think that's the person that we should be analyzing, and we don't know who that individual is. Maybe it's Yusuf Mehdi. I don't know if it's his group. I don't know what it is, but somebody should be doing. I watched a lot of football today. I did not see enough.
One Xbox controller.
Yeah, they have cut the commercials.
Cut them.
And in August, and this is probably too why we say, well, how did the Xbox lose? In August, let's be honest, man, you saw so many PlayStation commercials. They are advertising.
I did see Destiny the Taken King commercials.
What a joke that is.
That's the key thing. But you know what? We said that at the beginning of this year that we would like to see them doing something, advertising something.
Yeah.
And, I got a lot of slack for that too, but they
You're
not
right.
doing
You're
it.
right, Show. You're right.
They not doing it.
Credit where credit's due. Showstopper called that a while back. It is true.
They need to
that's when Showstopper and Crap was going at it.
we weren't ever. Dude, you know what the funny thing is? Whenever there's a disagreement on the show, people act like they're gonna take sides or like, "Hey, you all right, man? I agree with you, man. Showstopper's wrong," or "Damn, Crap was so wrong, man."
Yo, I'll tell you something. You fans.
I got this extreme.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, you fans ain't shit. That keeps shit going. But, they still come about me and Crap got together through John Doe out the fucking show. I still hear shout out to John Doe. I still hear about that shit to this day.
When we debate like that,
they're trying to get rid of all the black folk, man. They're trying to get them out.
When we debate like that, people really, you could tell whose fans is who. Because, man, you get some some of these Xbox dudes, boy, good night.
Yeah.
I got attacked, man. This one dude came at me like, they need to kick you off the show. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of you talking about this piece of stuff. I'm like, it's a conversation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You gotta calm down, dude. You know what I'm saying? We just talking.
You show us props on that one too.
You got too wrapped up in that, man.
We got to give props on that one, show.
Here we go, man.
Yeah, I guess so. So you was right with the PC thing. I didn't see the like my damn stuff, so I'm on board with you. But you were wrong about the Steam thing. You know, Microsoft was doing their own thing with their Windows store. So
Yeah, you know what? I
Yeah,
still do think I still do think with the PC thing. I mean, like, look, and the show was right about the advert. I agree. You know, the advertising's been kind of piss poor. Halo will be good, but it's like
Yeah.
if it's not like a big game like Halo, like even Forza,
I mean,
right? I've
Tomb
seen some
Raider,
now.
everything that they
Yeah.
have, they should be advertising it now, getting people ready. But nope.
well, you talking about
I do think though that I don't think they have the same money that they used to. I think right now.
money, Microsoft?
No, I think that
They're
they have a
budgeted.
budget.
Yeah, they're
Right
budgeted.
now, Satya is probably like, okay, you have to show me something. So, or they're backloading. Listen, I know for a fact that they are going to win October, November, and December. You know, that is the. You know, they are going to take those months very seriously. Maybe they're backloading the money for that. But I do think that the CEO is probably saying, you know, show me something, and you know, just kind of like where we're at right now. Like they got to win October. They got to really, and I do think that things are going to start to ratchet it up. But
Well, hey Tim, here's the thing though too, Tim. Like, look, it might not even be that so much as them wanting to remember how they had to do that write down last quarter for the Nokia stuff, right? And so that way they get that out of the way. So the next quarter that they do, you know, they're not going to have that big money up balloon payment to Activision for the Call of Duty stuff, or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So all that stuff which cuts into the Xbox profits, they're not going to have to worry about any of that stuff. They're
Right.
going to have Halo 5 sales, those bundles, the Forza bundles. They're going to have all this really good stuff, so it's going to look really good. I can say this, and this is my guess. When the next quarterly profits come out or whatever, Xbox division is going to be making a lot of money because they're doing a lot of the right things, and they're selling really well.
Yeah.
They're doing way better than the 360, way better.
And they're gonna, and October is gonna be a big month for them.
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. Just to be real, the Xbox 360 sales didn't pick up to after Gears.
Yeah.
Because it was still getting his ass kicked by the PS2.
Right.
I was there from day one. So is that really saying something that is outselling the threes? It cost the 361 on the sell like a behemoth after like 2007 and all that shit. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Now, if it's outpacing the 360 in 2007 and 2008, then that's saying something. Even if they're still losing to Sony, then that's saying something. But that's why I'm saying, hey, you know, it's outpacing the 360. So like shit, it was getting outsold.
I think
by the
50 to
PS2.
60% though is still saying something. I mean, that's.
But I'm just saying, but you know,
And
it was getting outsold by. Let's be real. Let's be fair. That it was getting outsold by the PS2 by a lot.
Yeah,
Still.
well, the Halo also saved Xbox. You know, it was at the point where it was. But you know, you look at the content they have. They definitely have the content. Xbox, and you know, you talk about Resolution Gate. The big thing for Xbox next year is Crackdown 3, because if that comes out and people see what's going on there, and then they find out that can't be done on PlayStation 4, that is going to help the perception of Xbox.
Oh yes, right.
They also need a redesign. They need something that you can put up horizontally and lay down flat.
You think so?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
definitely.
people have their gaming setups differently and horizontally.
They need a smaller. They need to do a redesign.
Okay, all that. Okay, it'll sell. You know, it'll sell. Like maybe it probably take. Oh, I gotta get the new system, the new Slim or whatever. But
Relaunch it.
gamers, but as long as the motherfucker work, like you know, I mean,
Yeah,
to
no,
me the
I
games are more
agree.
important than
But I do
motherfuckers
think the
standing sideways.
perception. What I'm saying is the perception out there, and this is where it comes back, and we talk about the media, and the media feeds into it. There is a perception out there that, like I do believe that it needs to be relaunched and re-explained, especially when you know it's obvious what they're doing right now. They're all about games right now, and it's just moving forward. Sony is not so much about games. They are looking into VR. They are going to have their studios doing that.
I think it's gonna be a low
stuff.
point for them. You're right. So,
Hey, did y'all see that? You see that dude humping that pillow, boy? Man,
Oh, I saw
was
that.
sitting here like, oh my goodness, boy, he was going to work. Boy, that boy was a rabbit. He put them goggles on, boy. That boy was going to work, boy.
oh, you talking about my man with the VR having sex with the pillow?
He was stroking that pillow, boy. That little blow up doll or whatever it was.
Yeah, the pillow.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, man.
That's Japan for you.
hey, but you know what? You'll never hear that Morpheus is stupid or anything the way that people complain about Kinect. And I bet you they even review Morpheus games well. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at
That's gonna
Kinect
be the
games,
download.
Just throw a little leg in there, bro, because that game they showed, boy, was selling sex.
Hey, yo, but listen, that's gonna be the downfall, I think, of Sony right there. You know they're not getting exclusive. They gotta invest in that fish bowl there. They gotta pay for that. Oh man, I keep forgetting about Morpheus. So, yeah, that's next 2016.
But you know that's going to be a lot of their
money.
games. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of money. So, and you got Xbox. Their 2016. You know, I put these lists up. You know, and then I get these Sony guys who try to like compare the list. They have a good 2016, but they are getting trashed. They are getting beaten bad in 2016 as well. So you have this holiday where they're a no-show. They just went home. And you know you have you have 2016, where we're also going to get this software team's building a UI. Now they're going to be doing something even further next year. But on the game side, Xbox is it's rolling, bro. You look at their games. It is.
Hey Tim, nobody cares about exclusives. Nobody cares about those. All anybody ever cares about is Call of Duty. They call about.
I'd have to look.
No more Mountain Dew jokes and Doritos.
No, Mountain Dew and Doritos is the coolest now. Didn't you hear?
Yeah,
that's the coolest thing ever. Jeff Keighley, we need that picture with him. Remember how everybody used to make fun of that with the Halo? Yeah, where's that picture now?
That was all NeoGAF.
Oh, NeoGAF, you mean that site that you exposed, like hard copy used to expose shit, dude? That shit
it's still being
that was a thing of beauty. You know what? And I made comments on there, and I don't usually go back and check, and people were like, instead of like reading what I said and take the comments, they try to turn it around on me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's avoid all the evidence here that Tim talked about. Let's talk about you, Crab Gamer. You're this, and a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like seriously, man, these people need to get a damn life, man. That's all I'm saying. We're here to talk about some games and give our opinions on stuff with no fucks given.
With no fucks given.
BGST. Yeah, look. That's. Oh, did I? Am I botting?
No, you did. No, you good now. You good now. You went in for a minute when you gave that cuss word. It bleeped you out.
Yeah, that was.
It did too.
If you made your shit rated PG-13.
You know what I can't understand? I'd have to look at the numbers because the numbers speak all, and only Microsoft knows this. But I don't understand why they keep doing these incentive packages and the free game and this and that. Why don't they just do what Tim said? He said it a while ago. This holiday, come out, make Xbox One $279.99, blow the doors out, and let me tell you something, you'll never look back because they can't catch up. Then you've got Crackdown. Then you've got all the software that people are going to buy, and the software's where the money is. Nintendo came up with this formula 20 years ago. They lost money on the NES. It didn't matter because everybody bought their games. So you've got Microsoft putting all this money into their software. Instead of doing these bundles where they're like, buy the Xbox One at $350 and get this free and get this free. Fuck that. Charge $50, $60 for the game, and give the console. Get the console in people's homes. Because look at that article came out. Shout out to Red Dragon. He's the one that first reported on YouTube, not the first reported period. But that Bill Gates a long time ago wanted a Windows device in everybody's in their family room, and now that's going to happen. As of November 2015, anyone who has an Xbox One will have a Windows device on the same platform as their Time Warner Comcast box, and that's what they always wanted. So now get the box. Listen, when you go sign up for Time Warner, yeah, it's $6 a month if you want the box, but like, who gives a shit? Like, it's cheap. They get the box in your house, and then you're watching, you're doing pay-per-view, you're buying the movies, you got HBO Go or HBO.
That's what I thought Microsoft was going to do.
Yes, that's what I. Yeah, we remember. You were speculating that.
Yeah, which I don't know what they can't. Genius. To sublease it to these companies like Cablevision, Comcast, Verizon. They buddy Verizon.
Cable's cool now, dude. Didn't you hear? Come on, man. Can we get the times? Cable's cool nowadays. PlayStation View, that's where it's at. And TV, Powers Season 2. That's
it's funny, Crap. You make a joke about it, but there's some validity to what you're saying.
No, that's not a joke. That's the fucking comedy of it.
When Xbox One came out and they were talking about TV, the IGNs of the world, they even did some small segments about, hey, Shaggy, are you cutting your cable? Yeah, I'm cutting my cable. I don't like cable.
I'm cutting the cord. It's stupid.
I've never listen. Everybody I know, every single human being.
Hold on. We need to hear from Shaggy. Shaggy, are you cutting the cord?
Huh?
We will
Like
cut the
literally?
cord. The
Cut
cord will get cut.
the brick. Cut the brick. Literally. Who doesn't watch cable? Everybody's watching football. Everybody's watching DirectTV, Comcast, Time Warner, Dish Network today. But nobody watches cable television when Microsoft said that. Then Sony comes out with their TV, and now IGN's cut the cord segments are nowhere to be found.
Oh, they're gone. Hey, they're too busy playing until dawn.
Yeah.
You know?
All 6.5 hours of
I
it.
bought the PlayStation TV. Mini channels.
They're giving that damn thing away for free, man. That's how bad that is. You notice nobody's bashing that.
Nobody even talk about that trash no more, boy. That thing is like on the shelf collecting dust.
It's like 39 bucks. It's like 39 bucks.
It's terrible because I mean nobody. That's just like that Apple TV stuff, man. Nobody's gonna give a shit about that.
How much was that when it first came out? Was it like $100?
Yeah, it was like 99 bucks. Yeah,
Man, they was tripping with that trash.
Yeah, they were because because this is the thing. If you have a PlayStation, even like if you have a Wii, you could get on Netflix and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like totally pointless. You know, $100 for that, and it was
$100
like
for that.
yeah, and it was, again, it was all digital. Like a lot of people, even at that price, aren't gonna buy something that's all digital because when the mom or dad buys it for their kid, little Sally or whoever, they want to be able to go and buy the game at the store. That's still how a lot of people
Little
think.
Sally?
Yeah,
Little Sally.
whoever. Little Sally's gonna play Little Big Planet or whatever other casual game is on the casual
Little
station.
Scooter.
I know, I agree.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. I mean, you see them. I see whenever you go to Walmart or whatever, you see the little kids with their parents buying the games. You know what I mean? That's where they go to buy their games, and and that's exactly what happened. So I think that that's probably part of the reason. Look at the PSP Go. That was an all digital handheld, and it flopped harder than a fish, man. It did. It was bad, and I think that's why that whole Xbox Mini thing was bullcrap, and I knew that was not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, but it is a little bit refreshing to see Kudo, which is the original topic that started this whole thing, come out and talk and say, hey, they can't do that. I like that appointment.
That's two times he's done something like that. He also said, PlayStation is doing things. Xbox is doing things that PlayStation's not. You know what I mean? And can't.
Yeah.
do.
Oh, I did a video on that, man. Yeah, that was great. And he also said,
I love him.
Yeah, he also said Sea of Thieves is Rare's best game. And here's something. A little bit of info came out about that. I wasn't sure what it is. It's an MMO. It's a pirate MMO. I mean, that's something I've always wanted to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
pirate
it's a pirate
MMO.
It's a pirate. Yeah, with ships.
You think it's going to be free to play?
I don't know if it's going to be free to play. I think that it might actually be like Elder Scrolls Online type deal. I think you have to buy the game, but I don't think they're going to charge you to play it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Elder Scrolls Online. That's what I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be free to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think that originally I thought I was like, hey, it looks like they'll probably do the free to play business model on this, but I actually think they're going to go just the regular kind of base model or whatever.
When do Fable Legends come out?
Supposedly in October.
October 13th is the rumor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the
October?
announcement, and then they pulled it. Yeah, October 13th.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I played the little beta or whatever they sent out. So
Right.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it. Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
played it.
Did you guys hear the Xbox One Windows 10 update is called One Core, and supposedly, One Core, and it makes the Xbox user interface 50% faster.
Well, they're using, with the update, and this is actual factual stuff, they are using the modified kernel of Windows 10, because when you update to Windows 10, they have reworked the kernel. So that kernel is, obviously going to be faster, and it's going to help with tasks. Hopefully, I'm really hoping the UI is fast, because they need it.
Let me just complain about something about the UI right now. I can't get my goddamn alerts. I can't.
Me either. I don't know what happens either.
None of that neither.
It's not my connection.
Crazy.
I test it, man. 15 down, man. It's fine. I just can't get my alerts. I will say this. They did increase the download speeds. Like, I was able to download something the other day, like 10 gigs in like 25 minutes, which is unheard of for me.
What?
Yeah, dude. They throttled them. They throttled them, dude. Yeah.
If you install a game digitally,
Yeah,
You know what I mean? From the disc, it takes a long time. I think because it still, believe it or not, has to do whatever it did for when the DRM when they took it off. So it takes a little bit longer. I don't think they'll ever admit that. When you do digital,
it don't take that long.
I mean, I'm talking about Gears. I got the whole thing. 20 minutes. I was ready to play, fully installed.
You know what? Another thing, you don't really pay no attention when you buy digital too. Like I pre-ordered early,
right?
And I just once I download it, and I see it start downloading, I go do other little things and come back. It's there.
Yeah, so, it's quick.
It's quick.
Yeah,
especially when you buy like a terabyte or so, and you got like hard drive space. Man,
yeah, you got to worry. You sit back and you pimping and do. You just got a hard drive, right, Chef?
I don't know. Yeah, he's doing some doo-doos.
Yeah, no, I told you, Mom. How's James Brown with Thundercat? I'm over this bitch friend.
So you over there looking like Lion-O? He got the sword to his eyes, like yes.
Guys, let me ask you something real quick. Now, I was one of the first people on Next Gen. I know you like Metal Gear 5. I know you love it, right?
Yes.
But I was one of the ones that said originally that some of these reviews that it was getting was due to sentimental, the sentimental aspect of Kojima. Also, it was launching kind of unfinished without the multiplayer, and it turns out there's some game-breaking bugs and issues and things in there. Now people are starting to say, hey, can we believe these review scores? And I'm over here screaming, hello, I've been saying this since fucking day one, right? I mean, now people are questioning this stuff, right? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think maybe people put too much stock in this stuff?
Yeah, but it's too little, too late crap, isn't it? I mean, the damage is done. You were right, and it is what it is. But now everybody knows. You ask anybody who's in gaming or paying attention at all, it's already a legend. The game's already a legend. It's already content. It's going to be game of the year according to IGN, and we haven't even gotten to Halo or Tomb Raider yet.
You know what? Just to add to that, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. I'm not going back on that, but there are a lot of bugs in this game. But a couple, like I said, the 6 mission. I had a problem with the 6th mission. They said it's a problem with the 29th and the 42. Like, I don't think these reviewers really play through all the way through the game, or whatever the case may be. Like, it shouldn't be a 10 on it. It's a good game.
Only thing that agitates me is, the creator of Metal Gear, he really loved his name and credits.
Everything they mission, right?
Finish each mission, boy. You got these dang on little interludes of credits with these names.
How far are you, Michelle?
I'm on like the I want to say like the 10th mission. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing it like spurts.
I'm on the 8th mission.
Yeah, I'm on like the 10th mission. But it's still giving you them little snippets of just credits, like you ending some stuff. I'm like, man, about time I end the game, I ain't gonna even want to enjoy that trash because I'm sitting there seeing it the whole way through.
I hope it's not 40 missions on this goddamn game. That's too goddamn long.
Did you hear they cut out like a lot of stuff, like, and they might offer it as DLC or what?
I'm fine. I don't need a game to be super long because I lose interest. The game can be fun as fuck, but I want to get to the end.
Man. I think as I've gotten a little bit older, I don't. Like, hey, Mooch, I know you're probably like trying to watch the game or something a little bit, but
I'm doing
John Doe on this too. Like John Doe is like,
listen, you don't understand.
What I was doing earlier,
you take the Giants. If the Giants were playing the Redskins, I wouldn't give a shit. But I hate the goddamn Cowboys.
It'd be like
the worst.
Romo.
I gotta listen. You don't understand. I'm not just annoying on Twitter. I'm annoying to every Cowboy fan I know. I go right up next to him. I palm all of my hands. I'm clapping that shit right in their ear. I clap right in their ear every time anything happens positive. I make sure people hear about it.
So he's clapping right in the ear.
I am right in my. I got one of my best friends, a goddamn Cowboy fan. I am in his ear. You should see my nose right up in that shit. Like, what the fuck was that? OBB Junior in your face. I mean, honest to God, man. I just gotta. It's like it's opening. Listen, there's two great days in America, okay? And there was a third, but the American public didn't partake in it. Number one is definitely when baseball season starts. That's huge. You get the whole momentum. There's a lot that goes on. The NFL season kicking off is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Like, even people I know that don't like football still come over, eat some pizza, wings, beer, hang out. It's about all of us coming together. Something other countries don't do. Japanese.
Oh,
But, you know,
shit.
like, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But, like, in all seriousness, the other big event is, like, you have, like, the Microsoft event when they do the Halo events, things like that. What do? They go to all the major cities in the world and they try to bring people together. They don't do that shit for Sony anything, man. They're going to have a Sydney, London, New York, L.A., Miami. It keeps going. UK. It's
Singapore.
all over. All over. You know, Milan, Italy. They're all over the place. They're like, yo, everyone come together, check this shit out. You know what I mean? And that's just something that you don't get. And like I said, the PS4 is the lonely station. If you just want to be that guy who keeps pushing his glasses up off his nose and hang out in the corner, yo, man, I got a box for you. That's fine, you lonely bastard. But you know, I like to hang out with people, man. Listen, we had a good time last night jamming. Tim came in. We were hanging out, doing a little Halo, and he was doing a little Forza. We bullshit. We hang out. It's a little this. It's a little that. That's what the Xbox community is. That's why I said, pick up the box.
Jesus.
Pick up the community, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Can I get an invite?
Oh, hey, listen, Z. Look, I'm a late night gamer, man. I'm up all night.
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna invite you.
I'll be up around that time too. I don't go to bed till like 2. That's the only time I get a chance to really game. I game from like probably like 11 something.
That's
like,
all you had to say.
Insomniac gamers, small talk. Hey, come on, you guys know you're not gaming. Although I will say, I see next gen on that Metal Gear like non-fucking stop. Like, non-stop, man. He's always on that thing.
The Metal Gear is the truth.
I'm on it. Look, I want to ask you guys just because I know we're nearing the end. Who's saying yes from this AMD deal and who's saying no? Anybody saying no?
I'm saying yes because you know what?
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the Minecraft thing where at first it was a rumor and then people were like, I don't know, and then it died down for a bit. And now let's be honest, $3 billion or whatever is nothing. It's not, you know, Microsoft is like, they're going to, Satcha's going to go, hold on, check the couch cushions there, you know what I mean, pull that out, you know, and they're going to find $3 billion and they're going to buy it, and then it's going to be like, it's going to be all Microsoft. No matter what you game, no matter who wins, Microsoft wins. That's what Microsoft does. Look, you can get Office on iPad. They're making billions off this shit by having their products, you know, open source, and, you know, look, Windows 10, look how amazingly they're doing. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to buy it that way no matter what. That's what you do. You buy it, and then you win no matter what. No matter what happens, Microsoft wins, and that's how they're probably going to look at it.
Well, like I said, it's a win-win. Win-win for them. That's the Xbox Infinity, which may be the last goddamn console. They do buy AMD. They probably put like the equivalent to 4 Titans in that motherfucker. You know, they are guaranteed to have the most powerful console, the nuclear bomb on the planet, and with the power of the cloud. Jesus.
Oh, the cloud power, huh? There's no such thing. Come on, next gen.
That's that bacon degrees.
That's that corporate cocksucker.
What about you, Shaw?
What's that?
Is this deal going to go through? And I
hope so. I hope so.
Me too,
I hope so. I just think that'd just be better for them overall, and just pushing the future forward with that for us, Xbox as a brand. I think it would be better for them to do that.
I definitely think it is something that has legs. I think it's something that could come to fruition.
Thank you.
And
it's just a natural fit because of how that company is, what that company is about, far as what they do. That's a natural fit. Instead of this like phones and stuff, everything else that they get into, that's a natural fit for them.
Do you think that there could be antitrust laws involved with this? Because it's kind of an overtake of the.
Yeah, it's far as consoles concerned, it might be.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just a leg up.
I will say that, Tim, because you do have an alternative.
They do have the alternative.
Yeah.
Because I did see comments like that, because there's about like 10 articles on this, so and the stock actually spiked up like.
Yeah, did you see that? That's what happened with what was it, with Mojang or whatever the hell it was too? Or I mean, you have and the Microsoft stock as well. I mean,
and Silver Lake's involved, and Silver Lake's last 2 deals have been with Microsoft, with Skype and Dell computers. So this does have all the footprints of a Microsoft deal, and I do think it's going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be resistance, because the thing that it puts Sony in is that they could go through Microsoft Next Gen. Okay, I don't see them as the type of company that does that. Believe it or not, Sony does not want to work with Microsoft.
They do all the time, though.
They do. They do work a lot together.
Yeah, you're right with the thing. But I'm saying I don't know if they want. I don't know if they want to lease the GPU. I just can't. I can't.
They can buy it. They ain't got to lease it. They can buy their own.
Well, you know what I mean? Like I think that they would probably do their own in-house thing, or they could go to Nvidia, and Nvidia is going to take that. They're gonna take it for a ride.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, let's be clear. There's, if for those who don't know, Microsoft did the security on they own the patent on them Blu-ray. That Kodak, whatever that Microsoft owns.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way. I meant the fact that I don't see them just doing it's a big deal when you design a console.
But here's think about it like this: no matter, even if they go with NVIDIA, if Microsoft buys AMD, by them going, they're not going to have a more powerful company, regardless. You understand?
Well, the thing is that NVIDIA is not really as far along with the cloud stuff as it seems like AMD is or Microsoft is.
But just take the cloud out of it. If Microsoft, they own the company, so they can get the most powerful GPU for pennies on the dollar. So even if they go with NVIDIA and say, hey, you know what, we're going to get let's say, whatever Sony buys, NVIDIA
is gonna
say 970.
A big time.
Say 970, and 970 is pretty affordable, and it's and you do.
That'll be more than that. But
you think, but a 970 in a fucking closed environment. You know what I mean? They never.
This is down the line, though. You talk.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But you know that NVIDIA is just they're the worst. You don't understand. You do understand probably, but they're gonna take them for a ride. It's not like Sony's gonna probably do it in house. Is what I see. If they even do it, they might just.
Sony's getting.
That's what they did with the Cell, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. The Cell was
how they made.
No, the Cell was Toshiba.
But it was like a Sony that they were the ones that it was like
they can probably go back to the Cell. The Cell has a lot of potential.
Oh no, they won't. Developers
did you not hear? Finally, the silence broke on that. Who was it? DICE come out and said that the Cell processor in the PS3, quote unquote, retarded the industry.
Yeah,
fucking retarded the industry. I mean that basically says it all. Sony held back the industry last gen.
If they can make it more friendlier or something, they spent a lot of money with that shit, though, bro.
But look, here's the thing, though. But that's why they had the worst performing multiplats. Because look, let's say Nintendo, and they can just port multiplats from the Xbox One to the Nintendo console and the PC. Those three might be sharing the same, the AMD. Right? So Sony's going to go and do something different, so they're going to get shit ports. Nobody's going to waste their time on making one specific point.
But people still bought the PS. They didn't stop consumers from buying the PS3, even though.
Well, consumers are fucking morons, and people in general are stupid.
The bottom line, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's going to go against any trust laws because, like I say, they do have an option.
I don't think it will. Yeah, I mean, I think
you got Intel out there. You don't feel about Intel. You got
NVIDIA, right?
Yeah. You got Intel. You got who else the fuck is out there? But anyway, it is, or they can do it in house. They got to spend more money though. Are they going to invest billions of dollars? They invested a lot of money in that. So that Cell was supposed to carry the next couple of consoles. I mean, just to clear that. That Cell processor was was a beast. It was. It was. Don't get me wrong, it was powerful though for those games that were made for it. In house. Uncharted, Heavy Rain, those games. God of War 3 looked amazing. Jesus. It is what it is.
I don't know.
What?
I think that I think they're gonna get. I think they're gonna buy. I don't think there's gonna be any problems. They're Microsoft after all. I mean, they got how many fucking lawyers?
But you know what though? Here's the thing though. With the things we think Microsoft should buy, they always fucking go left. Like we remember us doing podcasts. Oh, they should buy Capcom. Why the fuck they didn't snatch up Capcom? You know what I mean?
Well, I think buying a Japanese company would have presented some issues.
I mean, they could be. I mean, they can't be a hostile takeover.
AMD is open. See, this is the thing. This is what I've heard. AMD is open, and I've read this too. AMD is open to the takeover.
Yes, they are.
That is huge. That's a big step.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, Capcom was also though. They would say they,
right, but this is I think this has actually been in the works for a long time. I mean, Fodzilla has actually been the source. They're not like this fly by night place. This is
I know.
So
But it's not
they
Microsoft.
reported
Microsoft
this a
bought something
year
else.
ago. They
Didn't
reported
Microsoft
I
buy,
know.
Didn't Microsoft? But what did they buy? Microsoft bought not Intel. Who the fuck did Microsoft buy in the 360 era? They bought
Skype. They bought Skype.
No, I'm not talking about PC shit. Oh my god, I was just reading it about in the AMD article. They bought Jesus, it'll come to me. Fuck it, right through the shoulder. But they bought
this would be a big deal. I think
it would be a big deal.
But what are they gonna do? They're gonna take it over. Are they gonna lay? They did Nokia. That was a bomber deal.
That was stupid.
This would be the second acquisition where they purchase something for a decent chunk of change, but then you've got everybody else relying on you and purchasing it off you, like Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft is something that they purchased, and now they're making money off of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and that's the same thing here. AMD's already got a locked-in contract with Nintendo for the NX.
But you're
going to make money on that.
Right, you look at the phones, they could probably have a mobile processor made by in-house. The consoles, they'll make the existing deal that they have with AMD. I'm sure they didn't pay them all out. It supposedly lasts 10 years for the whole payout. That's off the table. So there are ways that they can benefit from this. And like I said, the HoloLens, the processor, and all that stuff. Even it's still a processor.
Hey, well, you know what, Tim? The Xbox, Microsoft made their first in-house chip with the Kinect for the Xbox One.
Right.
That's their first.
Yeah, because they bought that chip.
Right.
Who did
you're right. They
bought somebody.
They bought the Israel company. Yes, they did.
They got it. Something like Intel. They had their own. They bought their own in-house.
Yeah, well, that was for the Kinect.
That was before the Kinect. They bought their own CPU. They bought their own though. I know they own their own. I forgot.
They bought the. I'm gonna find it out right now.
Yeah, they own their own though. You know what I mean? So that they can have their own GPUs and CPUs. Like, goddamn. Like Microsoft, it's a beast.
They bought Prime Sense. That's what it was.
Yep.
Israel's Prime Sense. That was the company that they had bought, which is a 3D company, and that helped make Kinect. But I do think it's possible, and I'm going to say it's going to happen. So, and if it does,
I agree.
It's going to be.
If it does, listen. Here's the thing. Now think about this before we get the hell up out of here. If they do buy AMD, Microsoft can finally close the bridge between consoles and actual PC.
That's true.
Because you can get their own version. Not saying the Steam machine, but a Windows console, Windows 10. It's gonna be Windows 10 regardless. With the most whatever AMD come out. I don't follow AMD cards like that. Whatever AMD gets that's an equivalent to a Titan or higher in your fucking console. We talking about a closed and fucking environment. On your internet. Jesus Christ. They will get PC gamers to buy, their console because their console will be more powerful than their rigs. For $350
what Microsoft's going for is it's just going to be,
But think about that though, Tim. You got PC gamers now will buy, would have a problem buying Microsoft next generation console because even though most next generation consoles are more powerful than these quote unquote these gaming rigs. According to Valve, Steam.
I think by that time there's not going to be no PC, Xbox. It's going to be the same thing.
Windows 10.
Yeah. It's just going to be that. It's just going to be that.
I don't have I don't have a problem with that anymore because as long as, like I said, it's the same ecosystem. I get it now. That's
all that's it's going to. Like I predict Surface Pro 5, you'll be able to play all your Xbox games.
Yeah. Now I see. Now I see, Tim.
What?
I'm glad y'all coming around.
Now wait. Before we go on to that, we get into all that.
No, I didn't see. It didn't make any sense for them.
Keep quiet. Keep quiet, Crappy.
Yeah, let's not go. Yeah, keep quiet.
No, listen. I didn't
slow down on that one.
Oh, hear me out. Before I didn't see. It didn't make to me. It didn't financially. It didn't make no sense for me to put their games on Steam and but they're doing their own Windows Store thing. So that's it's the same ecosystem. I get it.
Did Show just give you the gong? Whatever.
No, that was me.
That's the producer.
I wouldn't have gave Next Gen the gong. I would have gave him the song he was singing to the grannies.
No, we
I get it now.
Like I listened to the.
What was that show they used to play when they used to have the person, and if they liked him, they would let him go, but no, they would hit the thing. They would hit the
Gong Show.
The Gong Show, yeah.
Hey, on that note, I would like to say thank you, everybody, for joining BGST tonight. We do have a New York Giants game that's going on right now. I'd like everyone to go out and support their local pizza place, okay, and enjoy a pizza, some wings, put an American flag right dead smack in the center of that shit, and enjoy yourself tonight, all right?
Mooch, real quick, Mooch, you need to tell people, appreciate that you hit over 2,000 subs, man. Like, what are you at, like 2,300 or something?
Listen, I'm stunned. I will see. Remember, I'm getting more videos out this week, but I've been tweeting the crap out of that lately. I can't appreciate it enough, and I can't appreciate this panel.
2,300.
Hey, listen, most of my thanks comes to the people on this show right here because you guys are the reason that they're tuning in to each and every one of us. So thanks to everybody. There's a lot more videos coming this week. That's for damn sure. And I don't know. Anybody else got anything else to add this week? Oh, you know what? Listen, Z's the only one promoting this. I do want to say this real quick. Go check out the website that Z always links at the bottom of his. I'll link it to the bottom of this one too. I'll get it from Z. Go buy some of the BGST apparel and represent your boys and the brand. You know what I mean? 'Cause when you wear it, you're letting everybody know you back it up.
Show your love for PS4 by buying a shirt with Crap Gamer taking a piss on a PS4. Nothing says love like that. I mean, come on. Where else you gonna find that?
Where else you gonna? What the fuck you mean, you corporate cocksucker? You piss on opinions, form attention, channel down, quick bomb, quick bitch. Pebble by pebble, pebble bomb, pebble motherfucker.
I heard you grab the dick. Yeah.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy your Sunday night. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.